Thank you. My name is Karina. I'm here today with my team that's sitting over here. IKEA Museum was opened last summer, so it's not even a year old. It's the 30th of June we opened the door, and it's all situated in the first IKEA store ever built. I just want to show and start with showing you a little movie about the museum. And my topic here today is, what is the organizational and educational importance of a corporate archive and museum?
Hey, welcome to the world's first IKEA museum, located in the very first store in Älmhult. And welcome to the story of IKEA. Join us on the journey from our modest beginnings and out into the world. The story of how a young and determined Ingvar Kamprad turned a mail-order business into a global brand. This is a story that you and all of our IKEA customers over the years have helped to create. Gather your colleagues and friends for a guided tour to explore the IKEA Museum. Your visit will answer all the IKEA questions you've ever had, and some that you didn't even know you had. There is something to inspire and entertain everyone at the IKEA Museum, big or small. Stroll around the many exhibitions, explore the collection of design classics, such as the Billy bookcase and the clip-on sofa. Read the story of the revolutionary flat pack and the Allen key that helped to put IKEA on the map. And let's not forget the meatballs. The museum also features a spacious two-level restaurant, with the cuisine steeped in Swedish tradition, but with a modern twist, just like IKEA itself. It's not only a restaurant, it's a meeting place. A place to not only share food, but ideas and moments. The classroom is all about learning for all ages, from the young to the young at heart. Here we work together to push the boundaries of creativity. In the IKEA Museum shop, you'll find products that aren't available anywhere else. You may recognize some of the items from the IKEA store, but the IKEA Museum offers them in other editions. And of course, the museum's signature products. For 70 years, people have welcomed IKEA into their homes. Now it's our turn to welcome you to ours. Welcome to the IKEA Museum at the heart of IKEA, Älmhult.
Yes, that was a quick movie about the museum that just has been built. And I just want to show you a couple of pictures from the archive, how it all started in Älmhult, where Ingvar Kamprad was born. He was actually born in a village nearby, but it's in Älmhult where he built the first store and where the business went going. This is a long time ago. There was only a church in the middle of the city. Älmhult is a small village in the southern part of Sweden. And in front of the church you can see an area with a lawn. Next to the lawn there was later built a house where it all started. It started in this wooden house with the first exhibition. This is the lawn. They're measuring it up. Where should the first store be? They're digging it out, starting to build. This is the famous V that we have in front of the house. It's a V in the pillars, you will see. Now you see the V's. This super modern building was then actually built up in the middle of nowhere then at those times. And it must have been an exciting experience for the people living there then. This is later on becoming a store. The store is actually torn down again, built and rebuilt to the IKEA museum. And this is how it looks like today. The pictures, as I said, are shown are taken from the archive. And also, why do we even open a museum? Well, as we said in the movie, we have been welcomed home to so many people for such a long time in their homes. Now it's time for us to invite them to us, to the IKEA. We want to be a forward-looking museum, a museum that really has is a mirror of the entire IKEA organization. When opening a museum, of course, you need content for the exhibitions, and you need them from a trustable source. And this gave us a very good reason to start working very seriously with our archive and collection. So all the content in the museum are actually produced by ourselves and this team that are now built. The IKEA heritage and IKEA values influence everything that our co-workers do all over the world every day. We are eager to move forward, wanting to base our work on our roots, values, and lessons learned. We make mistakes and we learn from them. And the IKEA archive and collection, we actually started about 10 years ago by very many enthusiasts, just as I guess most of all of us are sitting here today. But about 4 years ago, we started to work with it very professional. The main mission we have is to safeguard, collect, and structure the IKEA heritage. During these years, we have received different private, personal archives and artifacts from former co-workers, from Ingvar Kamprad's own secret hideaway, from consultants, and different IKEA units throughout the world. And at the same time, we are compiling our own materials from cultural standpoint. But why is it so important for IKEA to have an archive and collection then? Well, it's a way for us to become more transparent as a company, or as an organization actually. We want to show the IKEA way of working. It's also the best, and actually the only tool for the co-workers to understand our past successes and failures. We want to share our story with the many people to increase acceptance and appreciations about our roots, history, and IKEA today. It will build trust, hopefully, among the users and the many people. It is of great value for the entire organization to have an ocean of history to dive into in order to spread correct information and to make smart business decisions. Many years of hard work with collecting artifacts, photos, films, documents, without a clear policy, routines, and objectives, produced a massive amount of historical material and facts. And that's what we have today. And all this has been spread in different places then. Not only in Sweden then, but in the entire world. We had to take care of this. But how? How do you sort this out? You all know in this room that it takes some rounds before you know what to say for the future. We're not there yet. We're still working on that. We still don't know what to say for the future. But we're working on a policy on this. We have now structuring tools, and a very good team of 7 specialists working on a daily basis with structuring our archive and collection. But they are they're also answering requests from all over the world that we get from the different companies that we have. And when there is time, we're also working with the forward-looking tasks. Our way of working is following the Swedish archive standards and the international standards of ICOM. Today, IKEA has 392 stores all over the world in 48 countries. We have 183 different co-workers, And that means that we are every year producing also about 2,500 new products. And this is a lot to take care of. This is for sure a challenge, and we are daily struggling to handle this massive amount of historic material and facts. Our archive and collection needs to become even more accessible, structured, dynamic, and valuable historical planning on projects in which we have a greater possibilities to focus on structuring tasks ahead of us. This means, of course, that we need to grow, we need to hire more specialists. And this is all what we are working on. This will take us further into the cooperation with the academic world. Today, we support at least 5 researchers at any given point. And how are our methods to collect? Well, we have decided that IKEA Archive and Collection shall collect selected materials and facts that has an impact on and can explain the IKEA business history, and that can be managed, developed, and cared for. We collect both actively and reactively. And all new acquisitions are measured against 4 basic criteria. Its significance, use, conditions, and provenance. Just want to show you some pictures that we have. We have a great collection. We are exhibiting parts of it in the museum, and this will of course change over time. These are some pictures from our archive. This is Tony sitting here. We are working on our plans to secure that we meet the future needs of the IKEA organization and the public. All this in order to make smart business decisions that eventually also is smart for the many people. We are also working a lot with schools. We are trying to get about 4,000 students to come to IKEA yearly on an annual basis to learn from us and to see what we have to offer into the future. Thank you very much.
We'll make it brief, but are there any questions?
One quick question. What do you expect your attendance to be this year, in your first year?
Attendance in the museum?
Yes.
200,000. 200,000 persons.
What
do you plan to do with the records that are created in different parts of the world? Do you plan to bring them back to the IKEA Museum in Sweden, or will you cooperate with the repositories in the country where they have their activities? It's a question I ask because I come across this problem quite often within the industry I'm involved with, where you have subsidiaries that have headquarters in other countries, and often their activities have quite an impact on the local society, and there's an interest there to keep it there. Do you have a policy on this?
Moa, would you, or Tony?
I can take this question. We're still working on trying to find process that we really can work with, especially for these offices. Some of the offices are specialized, and the material from those offices we want to collect to Älmhult, of course. But then we have regional markets with our own their own stores, for instance. And we can't collect material from every store to have every store's history documented. And hopefully we can make the different market organizations aware of the potential in collecting their own history. And I would say that we maybe can make a selection of a couple of these different markets and organizations and collect them centrally to Älmhult. But we are still working on figuring this out.
Thank you.
Can I just add that in terms of headquarter, the headquarter is located in Älmhult. So it kind of makes sense in terms of project range to gather or collect from there, but it's the other parts of the business which is global.
One last question in the back.
Thank you. In your film, you mentioned that you also involve your customers in the museum to tell their story. Could you tell a little bit about how you do that and how they respond to that offer?
Yes. Well, there is an area in our house called Your Story, and we had a blog where people could answer. We had a question: how has Billy and Klippan, our two icon products, or one of the many icon products, how has they affected your life? And people were turning back history stories to us that we now are showing in the museum.
If you have a chance, you should go down there to Älmhult and visit the museum. It's a treat. Thank you again, Carina.
Thank you.